All right, guys, welcome in. We made it to the 16-day forecast. Hopefully, the stream will hold up. Tons of stuff to get into here. We got a strange anomaly out here that we're going to be digging into pretty deep because it's pretty crazy. I don't know what the heck's causing it yet. It's not volcanic activity. I don't know what it is yet, but we'll get into that. Also, you might want to take this website right here. All the links are in the description. This is how to contact your members of Congress, the Senate, the House of Representatives. You might want to take this website down because you might want to use it after seeing this video. So I've been mentioning a great new product I've recently discovered that helps protect us from the poisons these evil folks are spraying and trying to kill us with. This Tuesday night on my conference call, we're going to have a gentleman that has been suffering with multiple sclerosis for 30 years. He's going to share his results from this product, so make sure you join us Tuesday for that conference call. It's not a YouTube video, it's just a health conference call. The links for all that, the replays and all that are in the description. So all right, make sure you got this number here, govtrack.us.congress/members. Take that down. All right, let's get into just a few headlines. Not really headlines. I just got a couple articles and then some information to share with all the people that want to know what's going on with the weather. Now, the other day we covered an article where it showed this weird foam coming up out of nowhere. Well, internal documents showed that 3M had PFAS dangers for decades. A 3M environmental specialist in a scathering resignation letter accused company of being unethical and more concerned with markets' legal defensibility over environmental safety. So this is the most insidious pollutant since PCB in 1999. It is probably more damaging than the PCB incident. But what they're saying, when I get down into this article, like I said, all these links are in the description. The two of the most common, most studied PFAS compounds, known as PFOS and PFOA, have been linked to cancer conditions affecting the liver, thyroid, pancreas, the colitis, hormone and immune system interference, high cholesterol. Oh man, it just goes on. But the PFAS can now be found in the blood of nearly 99% of Americans. It has been found in polar bears in the Arctic Circle, as the chemicals have worked their way up the food chain from fish and seals. Some 46 sites in Michigan are known to have the groundwater with PFAS levels above the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency's lifetime health advisory guidelines. The state officials have identified more than 11,000 sites in Michigan where PFAS was used and contamination may be an issue. And it's just not in the Great Lakes. A new study citing updated federal government data, the Washington-based nonprofit environmental group Working identified 610 sites in 43 U.S. states and territories known contaminated with this PFAS, including drinking water systems serving over 19 million people. So instead of trying to do something about this when it happened, they just been letting it fester up for decades, and we wonder, one of the reasons why we're all sick. Now, we've been covering this microplastics that's been found, these Morgellons and nanobots. So a punch in the gut as scientists finds more microplastic in the Arctic ice. They drilled ice cores and found it was inside the ice. The researchers used a helicopter to land on ice floes and retrieve the samples during an 18-day icebreaker expedition through the Northwest Passage. So yeah, man, this stuff has been going on. We know this microplastic is all part of the eugenics program. So what I want to get into now, people don't believe they are modifying the weather. Well, I'm here to tell you something different. If you're looking for the Weather Channel, you come to the wrong place. You're going to get what's actually going on here. You're going to find out what's going on with the weather. We're right here at weathermod.org. The free exchange of accurate information regarding the efficiency, safety, methodology, and cost effectiveness of the weather modification activities. Now you can click on the link, you can get the worldwide projects, cloud seeding, cloud ionizing, you name it. You got the UAE rain enhancement programs overseas. Now this is just one side. I'm basically just covering the Texas weather modification programs tonight. Here's another one for you. This same place, weathermod.org. You can click on the interactive map here and find out about the cloud seeding operations going on right now. I'm talking right now. So make sure you check these links out that I posted in the description. How about justclouds.com, seeding operations and atmospheric research. So the seeding operations and atmospheric research is dedicated to provide weather modification, operational services, and atmospheric research technologies. SOARS prides itself on being an elite group of researchers and operators with a mission to conduct sound scientific weather modification research and cloud seeding operations efficiently. Enhancement of lightning over Houston. SOARS research aircraft encounters, aircraft icing. So I mean, these are just some of the companies, just the cloud seeding companies in Texas. And they want you to send them more money to study the enhancement of the lightning over Houston. Well, I can tell you right now what it is. It's all the bunker fuel operations. It's all the heavy metal particulates in the sky. We don't need to donate to them. I just told them what was wrong. How about the South Texas Weather Modification Association? 2019 project counties. So if you live in any of these counties in Texas, Bee, Karnes, Wilson, the 2019 projects are coming for you. There'll be cloud seeding without your consent, whether you like it or not. Here's the Trans-Pecos Weather Modification Association. You can click on all the operations that were conducted in 2018. You get the full report. Looks like they, on the June 28, 2018, 10 flares were burned within 2 clouds. Get the full report. So it's definitely going on. Here's the West Texas Weather Modification Association. The West Texas Weather Modification Association target area. You can see the dark red is the populated areas. The West Texas Weather Modification Association is an operational cloud seeding program that operates over 6 million acres of land in West Texas. The primary goal of the program is to enhance rainfall, help increase dry land crop revenues, decreasing groundwater consumption, save on irrigation costs, and help recharge area aquifers. Since 2004, they have helped increase precipitation by 16%, which translates to an additional 2.25 inches across the area. Now, when we look into all these technologies and we see every storm's a rain bomb, we see every storm is dropping 40% more rain. Well, here you go. This is what it's from. It's from man sticking their hands where they don't belong. So here's the National Weather Association. I want to get this to one of the thumbnails they're using. Look, a drone, a cloud seeding drone. The 2019 meeting, Huntsville, Alabama. I'd like to go to that. I'd like to go there and kind of snoop around and see what they're talking about. If there's any way I could do it, I will. And then you have the Advanced Science Serving Society since 1919. So the American Meteorological Society 100th annual meeting in Boston 2020. Here's another place to find where all the upcoming meetings are coming. I'd like to go to this 39th International Conference on Radar Meteorology. How about the Desert Research Institute out of Nevada? For nearly 60 years, the Desert Research Institute has excelled in scientific research and application technology. Now, I thought I just had the Texas ones on here, so look at this. How about an advanced AI system? How about a drone cloud seeder? Let's click on that. And you got the cloud ionizers and stuff. Let's just click on this. Look at all these different kinds of drones, dropping flares, chemtrails, unmanned aircraft systems. Researchers at the Desert Research Institute are exploring ways in which unmanned aircraft are increasingly being used in civilian government work as well as private sector for use in applications diverse as cloud seeding, climate change, fighting forest fires. The DRI has been actively engaged in UAS sensor development for many years, partnered with the FAA. You got all the cloud seeding. Let's click the cloud seeding link here. So that's why, when we get into the 16-day forecast, you got to understand that your local meteorologists, they have no clue. They won't even admit to this stuff. They won't even admit to it. That's why they're inaccurate on their forecasts. They don't factor this stuff in. Here's the Southwest Research Institute. So all these links are good to go through and check out. See, here's some more of the cloud seeding videos. Creating energy solutions. They just got $3 million in DOE funding. Basically, they want to steal the water of the sky. That's what this all boils down to. When you control the number one resource for us to live, you have complete control. Here's the National Center for Atmospheric Research, world-class research in Earth system science. Major nor'easter snowstorms expected to continue with climate change. You mean climate control? Climate control is expected to lessen total U.S. snowfall, but is unlikely to rein in the most powerful nor'easters that pummel the East Coast. How about the chemical forecast for the research community? Chemical forecast. You might want to dig into that. Here we go. Conserving water for future generations. This is the Panhandle Groundwater District. It's hard to find these websites. This website it's just pgcd.us. This is all part of the Agenda 2030, but it's more of the operations. Let's see what they got here. Precipitation enhancement. Oh, flight tracks. Let's click that. Let's click the flight tracks. See, a normal person that doesn't look for this would never find. Well, this matches most of the flight paths that we find on Flight 24. This was July 16, 2019, seeding mission 359P. Green dots represents flares fired. July 7, 2019, seeding mission. You remember what kind of storms you guys had then? Here's one from July 7, 2019, seeding mission. So here's 100% proof that they're clouds seeding your skies. They're enhancing the rainfall, and you wonder why the Midwest is flooding out. I mean, this is just 100% proof right here. This is it. What more do you need before you're going to get off your couch and do something? Let's check the precipitation enhancement facts and questions. The 2019 Precipitation Enhancement Program will begin on April 1st, 2019. It will end September 30th. We got a few more weeks to go. The program operates during prime rainfall months. Really? Summer's not prime rainfall. That's when, you know, some of the driest times. Hey, thanks there, Doug. So here you go. Check out all these links. And then remember the congressman, the Congress that I showed there in the beginning. Write your congressman. Join a activist group. Do something, but don't sit there and do nothing. Here we are at the TDLR, the Texas Driver's License Bureau. And you know what? You can get a chemtrail pilot license here. Let's see if I can find it here. I found it here once before. Thanks there, Walking Trail. Let's see if we can figure this out. Wonder if it's under weather modification or cloud seeding maybe. I really don't know, but I know it's here. Don't they just have like a search bar? Let me go back here. Where's the search? Oh, search site. Anyway, I don't want to waste a bunch of time on here. You can, I probably could have just Googled it, but you can apply for a cloud seeding license here in Texas. Google it yourself. Then you also have the Texas Weather Modification Association. An overview of the weather modification in Texas. Here's the target areas of the weather modification map. Let me see if I can click this. Wow, it's loading pretty slow. Man, that's really loading slow. Anyway, we're going to jump into the 16-day forecast over this. To me, man, this stuff has to get out. This information has to get out. People have to realize why the weather's not natural. It's not climate change. It's not global warming. Everything is being manipulated. But yet they call us conspiracy theories, but we can prove it with all the scientific data. You just have to dig it up. You know, back on March 26, 2013, the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office granted a patent to Rolls-Royce to prevent contrails from forming by using an electromagnetic wave generator. Contrails would not be visible, nor would artificial clouds develop. And even back in 1962, the U.S. Air Force wanted to add caustic chemicals to hide contrails and prevent unintentional cirrus cloud formation. That patent was 3,517,505, was granted 8 years later in 1979. There's so much information out there that most Americans will never see because YouTube will not let this channel grow. We have a cap at 52,000. They're not going to let us pass it. So it's up to us to share this information out. Let's get into the 16-day forecast, and then we got a crazy anomaly we're going to get into. So I don't even know how long we are in the show. It's not showing me. Oh, 20 minutes. Okay, so 20 minutes into the show, I'm going to start putting in, when I get into the 16-day forecast, in the description, so that people know 20 minutes in, 16-day forecast begins. All right, got that in there. There we go. All right, guys, here we go. Let's check out the GFS model. We got a wind event over there on the west coast going all the way down to Bajas, which is really strange considering this monsoon is going to come up, but it's not going to give Arizona or Mexico any rain. We're going to jump into this 6 hours at a time. And, you know, like we said, the South Florida was going to be flooded. It already is. In fact, I think the flooding started a day earlier than what we forecasted out 2 weeks ago, and even a week ago. Well, here it all is. Here's the flooding going on all the way up the southeast. We're going up into Tuesday this week, Tuesday the 20th. We're just going to take this up pretty fast. See all the pop-up showers, severe, still a wind event all the way down California. So extreme fire, dangers all the way down. We got some wind event in the upper north. It's just going to be windy. Here we are on Wednesday the 21st, still raining in Florida. Probably some more severe storms in hell right there for Colorado, Nebraska. Some real small rain bombs for Oklahoma, Texas, Arkansas. It's going into Wednesday. Yeah, that's going to fire up. A little bit of winds. Still flooding over on the east. Let's go ahead and go on up into Thursday, August 27th. All these storms are going to keep firing up in the same areas. It's the steering of the jet streams. More wind events for California. Look, they're going to be going backwards. The same kind of wind pattern that we've seen during the Paradise fires. So it looks like the wind's going to be picking up. More pop-up storms, more pop-up rain bombs for the 22nd. This is, I think this is, remembering back, this is when the flooding was really starting from a couple weeks ago for Arkansas, Oklahoma, Missouri. We're going to go up into Thursday, August 22nd. Look at the heavy storms for the Carolinas, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi. It's just going to keep on hitting the same areas. If you're not flooded now, you will be. Heavy storms for Arkansas on Friday, August 23rd. More hell up there in North Dakota. You're going to have a real big wind event up in Toronto. So it looks like all the wind's going to kind of stay to the west, except for there in a couple days. So here we are on Friday, August 23rd. Severe storms, southern Missouri and Arkansas and Mexico. Now we got this weird hurricane system coming in, but it's unlike any normal hurricane. We're going to get into that. More storms for the exact same spots, southern Missouri, Arkansas, here on Friday, August 23rd. And what's really strange about this hurricane scenario, you got the wind coming down, going right into the hurricane. As we keep on going up here on Saturday the 24th, you got more severe weather for Kansas City. But as this thing goes up over the Bajas, and what's really weird, no other model is showing this going over the Bajas. You know, here's a low pressure, but it's looking like a high pressure. These storms usually are the low pressures. You know, two low pressures don't make a high pressure. But what's weird is this low pressure is just parked out here like it's a high pressure, but it's not. It's a low pressure. So this thing's going to go right up in the Bajas, but it's going to hit all this wind coming down from California. It's going to just chop the storm in half. And then it's going to die out right before it gets to Arizona and New Mexico. And they're not going to get any rain out of this thing. Let me back up here. We got a very odd situation going on for Michigan, Detroit, Wisconsin here on Monday, August 26th. This is almost like a hurricane scenario coming out of Canada. And we're looking at super heavy rains for Wisconsin, Detroit, all through Michigan. I mean, it's going to get really heavy here on August 26th. And you got a wind factor. So it's not only going to be flooding, flash flooding, you're going to have wind. And it's going to track the opposite way of most storms, and it's going to fire back up on Tuesday, August 27th. So you got Ohio there in the mix, Indiana. And look, it's just like the storms are not making any sense. Then they fire right back up on the border of Iowa and Missouri. Then they all kind of bundle up over on the East Coast. Here we are on the 28th. Looks like Louisiana is going to get a little bit of rain here on the 28th, Wednesday. Florida, you're just going to keep continually getting these storms. You are now in the monsoon season. Will this monsoon come up? We'll find out on the 29th. It looks like the heavy winds are going to be up in the Montana, Idaho area. Here we are on August 29th. More heavy rain for Wisconsin, Michigan. You guys must be the target this 2-week pattern. Heavy winds flowing down through Idaho, Wyoming. So that kind of some north wind events. We'll check the temperatures. More pop-up heavy flooding rains for Florida on the 30th. So I really want to see if this moisture makes it up, because you're going against the winds. So we got like a double low pressure right there again. Here we are on the 30th still. Let's take this on up to the 31st. Here comes another wind event for the Dakotas. Wind and rain. Still raining in Florida, still raining in Louisiana, still raining in the upper Northeast. And guess what? Another heavy thunderstorm comes through Minnesota, Wisconsin. Tracking right over Michigan again. Look at that heavy rain for Iowa, Wisconsin on September 1st. Wow. So you guys are going to be getting mega flooded here over the next couple weeks. And we'll check out the total precipitation amounts. And then just another wind event here on the 3rd. It's like a wind event for California all the way down through the Bajas. The wind's going to be coming up from the south, so it's probably going to be hot going into September. We'll check out the thermostat. Now, I really don't even know if we need to look at the Canadian model. Now, the Canadian model does not show that storm. And we'll take a look at some weird spaghetti noodle models and all that crap. Let me just see if it even pops up. Like I said, the GFS model is the only model taking that up the Bajas. Like, that's pretty much hitting the Bajas, but not going right up the channel. But it dies out like with quickness. So what we do is we take the Canadian models and the GFS models, and then we add in the weather modification as it comes. So let's go ahead and check out the total precipitation amount. This will give us the target zones for the next couple of weeks. And I'm just going to crank this baby up. We'll crank it all the way up. So it looks like Wisconsin, Minnesota, parts of South Dakota, Michigan, Ohio, and then down here in Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, you know, pretty much everybody is getting rain except for the West Coast. Parts of Washington, hardly anything. Same with Oregon. Washington, like there's a whole spot not going to get anything. This is supposed to be the monsoon season down here. Not getting much of nothing. So yeah, you can see that. Look at that whole dry West Coast. The rain, they're just not letting it come. Even though you got an atmospheric river up here, they're not going to let it come down. They're blocking it. It's a block. They're giving us the block. All right, let's go ahead and check the temperatures. And we'll just kind of go through this real quick, hopefully. All right, so I'm just going to kind of cruise through here. Look at it. We got a little cold wave coming on August 18th. That'll probably feel good after all this stupid humidity being pulled up from the Gulf of Mexico. So the heat is going to continue. Look at that heat wave all the way up into Canada on the 28th. It's actually going to be colder in California than it is up in British Columbia. That's pretty odd right there. So how does that cold air get there? Let me back this up. So how the hell does this cold air get down there? There's like a cold swath of air over the Bajas. Oh, could that be from that storm? No, that's the wrong date. That's pretty odd right there. And we actually have a cold front coming around the 23rd. All right, let's go let me go ahead and show you some tracks on a couple of these storms. And here is the tracks on the one we were talking about going up through the Baja. Look at all these spaghetti models. They're just going there which way. But it's only going to give rain to the Bajas. Let's check out the intensity. So one of the models has it going all the way up to a Cat 4. A lot of them Cat 1 or a tropical storm. What's crazy though, we got a crazy anomaly that we got to go get into. Here's the next system shooting straight off in the Pacific in the middle of nowhere. All right, where's that one I wanted to look at? Check this out. We have a storm that could actually almost bring a tropical storm up into Alaska. That's pretty nuts. I don't know that I've ever seen a storm track go all the way this high up. So that's going to be something to watch just to see what the heck is going on with that. We got more storms going to hit Japan. All right, we're done with all that. Let's get into this anomaly. This is just insane. So here we are. There's America, South America. Here's like Peru right here. We got this insane temperature anomaly. Let me go back. So we're back actually a month. Let me get it back on there. Let's go back 3 days at a time. So there's 3 days, 3 days, and 3 days. So 9 days ago, there was nothing. Just right northeast of these little islands right here. Let's go up. So we go up the few days here. Let's just put it on now. So we got this crazy heat anomaly, and it's also showing up in the anomalies. These are the ocean heat anomalies. The first one I showed you was the ocean temperatures. So this is the ocean temperatures across the globe. And you can look at this on the flat map. And we're looking at the hottest temperature on the planet in a little bitty spot. 91.2 degrees. Pretty strange, huh? We checked the anomalies. Let's put this on Fahrenheit, 13.3. So they got me looking. I'm like, what the hell is going on here? We know they're dropping all the bunker fuel up here in the Arctic and all around Greenland. That's why the heat anomalies are up here. But what is this one? This is some kind of microwave weapon. And then you got some of the coldest water right next to it. Now, that's not normal. So, I mean, this thing is just off the chart. It's glowing completely white. And then you have the coldest temperatures right next to it. It's not a El Nino. I don't know what it is yet. But what it is not is volcanic activity. It's not some kind of fire. And I'm going to bring in all my other maps here so we can check it out. But here we are. We're looking at the RAM slider, and it would be right here where I'm circling right in this zone that doesn't have any clouds. What it seems to appear is the clouds are getting ate away, even at night. It's just like eating a circle in the clouds, like it's a microwave or a laser weapon. And we'll check it out on the worldview map. So yeah, see, it's just like kind of eating a hole in the clouds. This has to be some kind of laser weapon or something. Something is focused in. Maybe they have a space mirror. You know, like you ever take a magnifying glass and try to catch a leaf on fire? That's what it looks like. We can take a look here on the worldview map. And when we zoom in on these freaky clouds, these Franken clouds, what do we see? We see the signature of microwaves. We see the frequencies. And what's really weird is when you try the different layers and stuff, it's blocked. Like, it's blocked in 2 of my layers. But you can still see the frequencies in there. That's frequency clouds. They were not gravity waves. That's just a made-up term by the meteorologist to hide the real stuff. Let me go back a day. So here's yesterday. Still just a clear area right there. So when you look at it, let's go back another day. So it was cloud covered. It took 9 days for this thing to form. So what the heck is going on over here? Anyway, we're definitely going to be watching the cloud formations down here and documenting what are they doing. This is not a natural event. What are they trying to conjure up? You know, all the hurricane systems are way up here. All the tropicals is up in the tropics. This is down below all that. So, you know, just like right in here, right where you see the freaky cloud formations is where this thing is super hot water. So, and we know it's been cloud covered, so it's not the sun beaming in one spot. I put on here, I got the fire layers. Here's the fires and thermal anomalies. Nothing. It's not showing any kind of anomaly down here. I mean, oh, I'm on the right day. So it's going to be like right in here. So there's no fire anomalies. Let's try the 3.7 that what we use to find these ship tracks. And of course, I got to try to find a layer that's not covering the information up. Anyway, we're going to be watching this thing to see what becomes of it. And I'm just kind of looking. So it looks like day 2 of way less bunker fuel being deployed. In fact, I don't really even see any bunker fuel for the second day in a row. I'm just kind of looking here. Looks like we got a few fires. We put that fire layer back on. Oh yeah. Hey, thanks out there, Babu. Much love. We could check the ozone. Well, let's just check the while we're here. Make sure we're on now. Let's just check everything. Let's check the currents. Is there anything going on with the currents? Let me put that back so I'm going to mark that spot. I'll mark that spot here so we can let's mark it. That way we got a place mark. Okay, there we go. Now we'll check the currents. Nothing too strange there. Let's check the waves. No wave anomalies. Make sure we're on now. Let's try so we're looking at the carbon monoxide. Nothing coming out of it as far as carbon monoxide. Let's check the carbon dioxide. Nothing coming out of it. Let's try the sulfur. There's sulfur coming out of the islands, but not out of this spot. Let's try the particulates. Nothing. And look at this wave of dust coming at us. The dust just keeps coming. I'm going to leave that place mark there, but I want to fast forward this. Then I'll put it back on now. Just need to document this. It only goes up a couple days. So another huge wave of dust. No hurricanes are going to be forming in 2019. Not until the wind patterns change, if they change. So here comes our little cyclone or hurricane. And it's already mixed in the dust. Alright, so it's definitely not the dust. Let's try the PM1s. No PM1s. How about the PM2.5s? No PM2.5s. PM10s? Nope. How about the sulfate? No, not really. Maybe a little bit. I mean, I use this layer, or used to use this layer a lot to find the cloud seeding operations. Where you see this, you'll see tons of the geoengineering. They line up really well. Like this long straight line. This is insane. Check this out. This is not even natural. Not even natural. A cloud does not run, 500 miles wide for thousands and thousands of miles unless it's being pulled. We see it down here in Madagascar. We see it all the time down here in New Zealand and Australia. I mean, this is just being pulled straight in. And you can see the aerosols, like mega aerosols. Looks like rockets being launched. I mean, these are huge. Go ahead and take that fire layer off. And there's a lot of fires popped off everywhere. Now, you do have seeding operations over Arizona, Texas. We just showed you who's doing these seeding operations. But it almost seems like these are rain retardant sprays, like they're not wanting it to rain. So that's pretty strange there. But what you're going to see is out ahead of any storms or rain coming towards you, you're going to see cloud operations begin 2 days before the rain. Happens like clockwork. So yeah, there's the sulfate. So I'm not sure, man. We're gonna try to dig into this thing and we're gonna keep on documenting it. and see what becomes of that thing. I mean, that is off the chart, man. That's we know the ionospheric heater's just right over here. You know, is this some kind of a weather test? I don't know. We just have to keep on watching it, see if it grows, see if it turns into something. And right now you have a little bit of heat out here that could form hurricanes, but there's no way, man. When we take a look at the winds and we look at the polar vortex winds, this wind field is just not moving. The polar vortex winds look pretty damn normal, but this is not normal. And we'll show you back last year what it looked like. Look at that. Look at the difference from last year. I mean, that looks pretty much the same. One big difference. And the difference is this. And what's causing that is this. Let me put it on the temperatures. They're heating the atmosphere over Greenland, over Alaska, over the Arctic Circle. That's the gray color. If you can see, that is a compression event, a heating event. You got just a little one right here. Now what's going to happen is when I get this back on the winds, now here in the next month or two, this polar vortex is going to shift and it's going to go back up to the Arctic, and that's when things are going to be changing. I mean, we're going to see what's going to happen with this thing. So it's actually going to be wild watching this thing go up to the Arctic, because what's it going to do when it hits this? What kind of crazy winds are going to happen? It might be like geostorm. I don't know, because I've never seen this happen before like this. So pretty crazy looking. Anyway, guys, we're going to call this a show. I want to thank everybody who shares this information out. We're going to play a song called Rise. We Need to Rise. Then we're going to play the fight song. Then we'll play the victory song. I'll jump over there on D Live and give away the treasure chest and all that good stuff. Anyway, guys, much love out there. Thanks for watching, and thanks for sharing this stuff out, because YouTube's not going to let us grow. They're not going to let us reach the American people. Anyway, guys, much love. Here we go. Turn it up. God bless everybody. Armor up. Armor up spiritually and armor up physically.